Hello guys, welcome to next class of some more single random variable distribution. Now here I'm consider some more problems based on what about that single random variable. The next problem is a production line manufactures 1000 ohms resistors that have 10% tolerance. How many tolerance? 10% tolerance. Let X be the resistance of a resistor. Assuming that X is a normal random variable with mean is 1000 and variance is 2500, find the probability that a resistor picked at random will be rejected. A production line manufactures 1000 ohms resistors that have 10% tolerance. They have a 10% tolerance plus or minus 10. Let X be the, let X denotes the resistance of the resistor. They given already what is X denotes. Assuming that X is a normal random variable with mean is 1000 and variance is 2500. Find the probability that the resistor, we already taken let X is the denotes the resistance of the resistor picked at random will be rejected. Yeah. Now here, first I have to define, you know what's a tolerance. Manufacturing, production of line manufacturer 1000 ohms resistors that have a 10% tolerance. But they asking find the probability that resistor means X picked at random will be rejected. When we are they going to reject it? Means let A be the event that a resistor is rejected. When they going to reject it? Either A is X less than 900, 10% tolerance. Is whatever they produce, manufacture 1000 ohms, 10%, 10% means what? 100. Yeah, greater than 100 or less than 100 means X less than 900, union of X greater than 1100. Add 100 for 1000, we get 1100, subtract, we get 900. Since intersection between X less than 900, intersection of X greater than 1100, definitely you don't have any common. What about this must be empty. You know that in the electronics is empty. Is empty means, see, A is a event, B is an event, A intersection B is that A intersection B event is empty means both A and B are disjoint. They are mutually exclusive events. Like that, these two are mutually exclusive. Therefore, probability of A union B is nothing but, suppose A and B are disjoint, what is that? Probability of A plus probability B means sum of their probabilities. Therefore, probability of X less than 900 plus a probability of X greater than 1100. Now, probability of X less than 900, this is a normal distribution. Less than 900 can also be written as X less than or equal to 900. This is nothing but cumulative function of 900. This X greater than 1100 can also be written as entire probability minus probability of other than that area. What is other than that area? Probability of X less than or equal to 1100. This is nothing but 1 minus cumulative function of 1100. Yeah, why we convert it into cumulative function? You don't confuse with your 4th semester 18 Mat 4 normal distribution problem to this. While doing the probability distribution problem in a normal distribution, using normal distribution, especially in your subject, always you have to convert the probability function in terms of cumulative function. Why? Because in the normal distribution, once you convert it into cumulative function, then easy to easy to find out the value directly. Easy to find out area value from the table. That's why keep in mind in your core subject, if you want to find out the value, probability value in the normal distribution, better I to convert in terms of cumulative, because once you convert cumulative, immediately is possible immediate is possible to express that cumulative function in terms of what about area of the value. Means, what's the formula? Fx of x is nothing but phi of x minus mu by sigma. Yeah, directly we get area value from the normal distribution table. That's why we are converting always cumulative distribution function for the probability function, especially in the normal distribution. Now, x is, mu value, sigma value at 900. What is called phi of minus 2. This is also we discussed in the last videos while explanation of normal distribution. Here we are not taking 0.5, we are taking entire area. Phi of minus 2 can be written as minus phi of 2. Now see, phi of minus 2 means z is equal to minus 2. Directly is converted into z value. That's why always you can find out probability value in normal. Better to convert into what about cumulative distribution function. And also find out fx of 1100. That is given as phi of 2. You substitute here, simplify, we get phi of 1 minus phi of 2. Now use the table for normal distribution table where then use a normal distribution table. There they given in the table. This is a table. I'm showing that. This is a table. Please observe carefully for that. I'll put it entire in one screen. See, observe carefully. This is a table, normal distribution table. Observe here they given phi of minus z is equal to what actually? Phi of 1 minus phi of z. Using this table, phi of 2. Phi of 2 means z is equal to 2 and what's the value? 0.9772. Okay. You pick the 0.7792 multiplied with 2, we get this. Are you clear? Use this table not for your 18 mat 41 normal distribution table. This table is provided in sham series. Phi of minus z is equal to what? 1 minus phi of z, because we are converting phi of minus 2 is 1 minus phi of z. Entire area we are taking. Use this table. Same method what you are using in normal distribution for mathematics 18 mat 41, but table is different. That's all. From this table you pick the value and substitute normal distribution table value and simplify it. Okay. Now I'm moving to the characteristic function. Yeah, we already discussed in the second video of what is the characteristic definition. You already know that characteristic function is can also be is nothing but expectation of e power of j omega, the omega into the corresponding random variable. Okay, find the characteristic function of a random variable x is given by, this is a given characteristic function 1 minus modulus of omega. Modulus of omega is less than 1, 0 modulus of omega greater than 1. Everyone we already studied in Fourier transform. There we already work same problem. 1 minus mod x is nothing. Mod x means mod omega means w. Omega is placed between minus 1 to 1. Modulus of omega greater than 1 means omega less than minus 1 or omega greater than 1. Omega less than what about that minus 1 or greater than what about that 1. Yeah, less than minus 1 or greater than omega 1. Yeah, this point you already know that. Find the probability density function of x. A function of x I want to find out. Therefore, we know that what is what about that probability density function fx of x is nothing but 1 by 2 pi. We already know that this formula I explained in characteristic function minus infinity to plus infinity phi x of w e power of minus j wx dw. This is just like an inverse Fourier transform formula. Actually, characteristic function is formula is nothing but Fourier transform formula. Finding inverse Fourier transform like that, finding a probability function. From the probability function, finding characteristic function is nothing but Fourier transform formula. From the they given characteristic function, they are asking probability function. There we are using inverse Fourier transform formula. This is just like inverse Fourier. There they use I. Here we are using j because in our core subject complex number you denoted by j. Why they are using j in software? They are comfortable j. They are not. Once you write a program in MATLAB, execute the complex number in terms of j, not for I. That's why they are using j. That's all. Are you clear? Don't confuse. Whenever you want to find out characteristic function from the probability function, use Fourier transform formula. You given the characteristic function, if you want to find out probability function, use inverse Fourier transform formula. But instead of I, j, instead of s, parameter is omega, that's all. There you written e power of isx into ds, now omega is a parameter, that's all. Okay, minus infinity to plus infinity. Now we have to change this integral is because except minus 1 to 1, the in rest of the case the value must be 0. Therefore, we have to take minus 1 to 1. What's a function is 1 minus modulus of omega into, I'm expressing this is in terms of real and imaginary, cos omega x minus j into sin omega x. Now, see, I have to multiply it with cos, multiply it with sin. 1 minus modulus of omega with respect to omega, with respect to not x, written x, sorry, is omega actually. With respect to omega, what actually is an even function. You already solved same problem in your third semester, that's all. Yeah, with respect to omega. Okay, now this is even function. Even is an even function, but even into odd is odd. Therefore, this is 0 from the fundamental property of definite integral property. Therefore, we get twice 2 by pi 0 to 1. Modulus is nothing but minus w for w is less than 0, w for w is greater than 0. Therefore, what we get 1 minus omega cos omega x d omega. Then evaluate using UV rule 1 minus omega into integration cos is sin omega x by x. What is derivative of 1 minus omega is minus 1 into what about that, again I have to integrate. What is integration sin minus cos omega x by x square. Now I have to stop this because it's a constant 0 to 1. Apply the limit, then 1 minus 1 is 0 and then sin omega into 0. Minus sin 0 is 0. Minus into minus plus, plus into minus is minus. 1 by x square is constant. Apply the limit for omega. What we get? Omega is 1 cos x minus cos 0 is 1. Now I'll take minus and inside the thing 1 minus cos x. What is 1 minus cos x is half of sin square x by 2. That's why written in the 2, sorry. What is 1 minus cos 2 theta? 2 sin square theta. Like that, what is 1 minus cos x is 2 sin square x by 2. Therefore, 2 sin square of x by 2 by x square. For x lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. This is our probability function based on the characteristic function. Before going to move the next one, I'll tell you, if you want to find out from the probability function to the characteristic function, just you apply Fourier transform formula, but instead of s is omega, that's all. Instead of I is j. I is j, s is omega. If you want to find out from the characteristic function, they given here characteristic function, I want to find out probability function, just apply inverse transform formula. Instead of s, we have to take omega. Instead of I, we have to take j, that's all. Okay, now find the characteristic function of the normal distribution. Yeah, then we know that what is a probability function for the normal distribution? 1 by sigma into root of 2 pi into e power of minus half of x minus mu by sigma whole square. X lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. But we already known that while explaining a characteristic function, I already explained phi x of w is nothing but expectation of e power of j omega x is nothing but minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x e power of j omega x with respect to x. Now observe carefully, here we are not taken 1 by root of 2 pi because in the inverse you already taken 1 by 2 pi. I am showing in the previous problem. Inverse, see, we are not split into 1 by root of 2 pi. We are taken entire 1 by 2 pi in the inverse. Therefore here you don't get it any 1 by root of 2 pi. That's all. Fx of this, but they have a normal distribution in the range minus infinity to plus infinity. We have to substitute half of x minus mu whole by sigma whole square. Now I have to simplify further this. Expand x minus mu by sigma whole square means 1 by half sigma square into what actually x square minus 2 mu x plus mu square plus and another term j omega x. And then minus half of 6 square by sigma square. Group these two terms, whatever that mu x and jx, we get this after you multiply it by minus sign. I think here minus mu square by 2 sigma x square is a constant. I'll keep it outside. Now using completing the square method, I already explained the few in my previous video. By using completing the square method, you use the completing the square method, you convert this is in the form of a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square. Why? Because one of the term having x square, another term is x. Now therefore it's not possible I go for substitution method. Okay, I have to convert which form here? Minus minus infinity to plus infinity e power of minus u square du, because that value is root pi. Therefore, what is completing the square method? I say that I to convert always x square coefficient must be 1. Therefore, I'll take minus 1 by 2 sigma square outside. What's the remaining? X square minus 2. Then I have to take sigma square inside, mu plus j omega sigma square into x. One is plus, another one is minus. Therefore, I go for a minus b whole square. A square minus 2ab. 2, this is a, this is b. Therefore, add and subtract by b square, mu plus j omega square whole square. Add and subtract it. Group these three terms, that is a minus b whole square minus of this. Okay. Now, while multiplied by this minus into minus plus, we get whole square divided by 2 sigma square. That is constant with respect to x. With respect to x, that is a constant. I'll keep it outside. Yes. This again I'll go for the substitution. See, before going to do the substitution, I'll simplify this. Bases of same. What I keep the constant, these two exponential bases of same, add up their indices. We get minus mu square by 2 sigma square plus mu plus j. You expand that, mu square plus j square omega square sigma square to the power of 4. Plus 2 mu j omega sigma square. That's the thing I written here. And then outside 1 by 2 sigma square. You simplify that. Once you take inside and simplify, after the simplification we get e power of mu j omega minus omega square sigma square by 2. After the simplification of this. Now I have to substitute here. Before I'm going to substitute that, again I'm to convert, this is what e power of minus t square. Therefore, I'll take 2 by sigma square inside the square, root 2 into sigma inside that, a by b whole square. What's the substitution? X minus of mu plus j omega sigma square divided by root 2 into sigma equal to t. What is dx is root 2 into sigma into dt. When x is minus infinity, t also minus infinity, because infinity minus constant is minus infinity, only minus. Therefore, we get minus infinity plus infinity e power of minus t square. See, root 2 sigma. Root 2 sigma is cancelled. This is, you know that you already simplified. What is this value? Is root pi. Root pi cancel. Finally, we get what's a characteristic function for normal distribution. Thing is e power of j mu omega minus of omega square sigma square by 2. This is a way to find out. Keep in mind, here you are not taken. I told why they given probability function, they want to find out characteristic function using a formula of Fourier transform, but don't take 1 by root of 2 pi, because we are taken in inverse formula, entire 1 by 2 pi in inverse, 1 by 2 pi we written. Therefore, we don't get it 1 by root of 2 pi where in the Fourier series formula for here. Okay. Are it clear? Now I'm explaining how to find out. These are concerned continuous. How to find out characteristic function in binomial. Binomial means summation, discrete. The same psi phi, you have to take binomial distribution probability function. Psi x of omega is nothing but expectation of j omega x. You know what is expectation formula. E power of j omega k into px of k. So k in a binomial, what's a k ranging from 0 to n, and then substitute binomial distribution formula, and then k ranging is nk. Then after the substitution, you see, observe here, after the substitution for this, which one? This one. After the substitution for this, group e power of j omega and e power of j omega and p power of k. A power of a square, b square is nothing but ab whole square. Group these two to, right, to the power of k. That's all. I written here p into e power of j omega whole raised to the power of k. Q power of n minus a. This is nothing but binomial expansion of, is a binomial expansion of p e power of j omega plus q to the power of n. If you want expansion, we get a binomial expansion of a plus b to the power of n. A is p e power of j omega, b is q. That's all. Okay. And then from this is a characteristic function for the binomial distribution. Put omega is equal to 0. What we get? E power of 0, 1 p plus q to the power of n. What is characteristic function? Suppose is 0. What is the characteristic function value for omega equal to 0 is 1. Similarly, I have to find out Poisson distribution. In the Poisson distribution, what is Pn of k? We have to write the formula. What we did, the same thing we are going to do for a characteristic function is nothing but expectation of e power of j of omega k. K ranging from here 0 to infinity, because Poisson distribution is 0 to infinity. Substitute Poisson distribution formula. And then while after substitute, you take e power of minus lambda outside because it's a constant. Group these two, e power of j omega into lambda whole raised to power of k. This is nothing but expansion of exponential series. What is my x is nothing but lambda into e power of j omega. Therefore, e power of what is x? Lambda into e power of j omega. And then you have to take e power of minus lambda inside. Then basis of same, add up the indices. You take minus lambda is outside. We get 1 minus e power of minus lambda of 1 minus j e power of j omega. Now this is nothing but characteristic function for the Poisson. Now put x at omega equal to 0. After the simplification we get 1. Similarly, I have to find out uniform distribution. While come to the uniform distribution, we have to, instead of summation, you have to take integration. That's all. A characteristic function of omega is nothing but expectation of e power of j omega x minus infinity to plus infinity e power of j omega x fx of x. You substitute the probability function for the normal distribution, sorry, uniform distribution. What's the limit here? A to b. You substitute 1 by b minus a, keep 1 by b minus a, and then integrate, simplify. We get this is the answer for characteristic function for uniform distribution. Next is exponential. Similar way, you do it for the exponential. Now here we have changed the integration, what actually minus infinity to plus infinity. Once you change, because our exponential function defined only 0 to infinity, therefore I have to take 0 to infinity, basis of same, add up the indices, integrate, simplify that, we get finally lambda by lambda minus j omega. Now put omega equal to 0. Again here we get 1. See, observing everywhere for omega equal to 0, the corresponding characteristic functions must be 1. Yeah, similarly, I am not going to explain for Laplace transform because you know how to do it. I already explained for normal distribution. Similar way, how to find out characteristic function for Laplace distribution. Just you have to write the formula for characteristic function is expectation of e power of j omega x is nothing but minus infinity to plus e power of j omega is fx of x. You substitute this formula here, and also you take x greater than mu, less than mu. You give a split minus infinity to mu, mu to infinity. We already discussed in my previous video, and then you replace it. What happen? X greater than mu, less than mu, basis of same, add up their indices, and then integrate, apply the limit. Finally, we get characteristic function for Laplace. The Laplace distribution is e power j omega mu divided by this 1 minus j square omega square b square. If you want to write j square is minus 1, you know that what we get 1 plus omega square b square if you want to write, right? But I'll keep j square, but you write j square is minus 1, we get plus 1. But here, sorry, I'm not explaining for this because you know how to do it. Because we already explained in my previous video for Laplace transform. Similar way, you know characteristic function, how to find out. Just have to do the simplification. If you want, I'll show it in entire thing in a one shot. If you want to pause and then you do it. That is for exercise for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm moving to the last problem. This is a one of important problem. Yeah, maybe I'll give you the exam how to do it. The density function of the random variable x fx of x is equal to 5 into e power of minus 5x for x lies between 0 to infinity, 0 otherwise. Find expectation of x minus 1 whole square, expectation of 3x minus 1, and var of x. First you find out expectation of x. It's a continuous. Therefore, minus infinity to plus infinity, what's the formula? X into fx of x. But 0 to infinity have a function, but minus infinity to 0 is 0. Therefore, only I have to take 0 to infinity, 5 into e power of minus 5x. Using UV rule or Bernoulli's rule, integrate it, apply the upper and lower limit. After apply the upper and lower limit, you know how to integrate. That's why. Yeah, 5 into this, you know, everyone I explained so many things, integrate it. 5 into and then integrate, apply the upper limit, simplify, we get e of x is 1 by 5. Similarly, I have to calculate e of x square. E of x square means my second moment, minus infinity to plus infinity, x square fx of x. Again, I have to change the limit 0 to infinity because the given function only is 0 to infinity. Then again using UV rule or Bernoulli's rule, apply the limits and simplify, we get 2 by 25. Then from these two, what is e of x minus 1 whole square? X and x square minus 2x plus 1. You know the property of expectation, linear property, e of x square minus 2 into e of x plus e of constant. E of constant is 1. Substitute all the values we get. Similarly, what is expectation of 3x minus 1? Expectation of 3 into e of x minus expectation of 1. You know a value substitute. Var of x also e of x square minus e of x whole square. You have e of x square, e of x substitute, whole square means 1 by 25. Simplify that, we get 1 by 25 answer. Similarly, this is a last problem. Let x be the random variable with given e expectation value 1, var of x is 4, find the following. E of 2x minus 4, e of x square, e of x minus 4 whole square. They given var and the expectation value. From that is easy to find out e of 2x minus 4, e of 2 into e of x minus 4. Then substitute simplify. But I want to find out e of x square. Use the formula for var. What's the formula for var? Var of x is e of x square minus e of x whole square. What is e of x square? Var x, you shifted this in the left hand side, e of x whole square. You have var for value 4. We have e of x, substitute and simplify, we get 5. And then similarly, you know, in the previous problem, I explained how to find out e of 2x minus 2x minus 4 whole square is expand a square minus 2ab plus b square. You know e of x square, you know e of x constant is 16 only, substitute simplify, we get 20. Yeah, this is a way to find out the value using expectation. That's why you studied expectation property, variance property. Okay. Anyway, I complete my, what about the module 1, all a different type of problem. I know something I skip because you know I already explained two times. No need I to explain once again in my video. If you're not clear, you go back to the previous video, you try to understand, or give a pause and you do it. Everything I do it, I explain. There is no question is arised to try for the student side. Okay, that's the last is how to solve the problem by using expectation. That's a very important properties also. That's why they consider properties in your core subject. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Yeah, if you are like my videos, you please put a like button. That much is enough for me. What I giving effort based on that. Okay, bye, see you. I will come and meet in module 2. Okay, bye, take care, stay home.